Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devadasi from College Station, Texas. Thank you, Mataji, for your beautiful services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful services, Mataji. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to introduce Mataji?
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji. Oh, Guru Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumar Devidas from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumar Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, should we go to the next session, Mataji? Should we start the recording? Or should we
Mataji, we can wait one minute. Mataji, give me 1 minute, okay?
Sure, Mataji. Thank you.
I don't see Prabhuji also in the call.
Yeah.
So Prabhu also is not there, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Haridas Thakur Prabhu also did not join yet, right? So we can wait for 1 minute.
Okay.
I sent the introduction. Were you able to open that, Mataji?
Yeah. I can read, Mataji.
You can read that?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay, then let me.
Very small introduction, right? So I'll read.
Yeah, very small. Yeah, I will just start the recording in that case.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
Let's move to our next session. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji for enlightening us in the topic of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, 8th Canto, Chapter 5, Verse 50. So before going for the class, I would like to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji is an engineering graduate currently serving as a vice president at the Swedish multinational company with 20 years of corporate experience. Prabhuji has been practicing Krishna consciousness for the past 22 years and a disciple of His Holiness Loknatha Swami Maharaj. Regularly conducts Bhakti Katha Saptas and serves as a Bhakti Shastri teacher. That's all I have, Mataji, right? see Prabhuji here. Yeah, Prabhuji just joined.
Would you join, Mataji?
Yeah, just joined. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think it's
Oh, okay.
getting
He's
on.
not yet connected with the mic, Mataji.
Yeah, he's still being connected. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he will be connecting and then we'll.
Yeah, his mic is on. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association this morning and for enlightening on the topic of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, 8th Canto, 5th chapter, 50th verse. Whenever you are ready, please take over the call, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Oh, I think Prabhuji has an internet issue. He just dropped, or because of his camera was not on. Maybe camera issue or something. So he'll be joining back. We'll wait.
Sure.
Somebody, yeah, he's connecting.
Yeah.
Camera now works.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining this call this morning and enlightening on the topic of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, 8th Canto, 5th chapter, 50th verse, Prabhu. Whenever you are ready, please take over the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Yes, I move some senses. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, you are co-host. You can share the screen.
So I hope the words to be read today is visible. Yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji,
Visible.
8.5.50.
Thank you, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Devaki Nandanaaya Cha. Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chayeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktirvavati Naistiki. नमस्तुभ्यं अनंताय दुर्वृत्तक्रियात्मकर्मणि निर्गुणाय गुणेशाय सत्त्वस्थाय च साम्प्रतम् नमस्तुभ्यं अनंताय दुर्वृत्तकर्मात्मकर्मणि निर्गुणाय गुणेशाय सत्त्वस्थाय च साम्प्रतम् नमस्तुभ्यं अनंताय दुर्वितर्क्यात्मा कर्मणे निर्गुणाय गुणेशाय सत्त्वस्थाय च साम्प्रतम्. Translation. Nama, all obeisances, word by word translation is this. Tubhyam, unto you, my Lord. Anantaya, who are everlasting, that is transcending the three phases of time, past, present, and future. Durvit, Durvitarkya Atma Karmane, unto you, who perform inconceivable activities. Nirgunaya, which are all transcendental, free from the contamination of material qualities. Guna Ishaya, unto you who control the three modes of material nature. Satvisthaya, who are in favor of the material quality of goodness. Cha, also, Sampratam, at present. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila. All relationships. My Lord, all obeisances unto you who are eternal, beyond time's limit of past, present, and future. You are inconceivable in your activities. You are the master of the three modes of material nature, and being transcendental to all material qualities. You are free from material contamination. You are the controller of all three of the modes of nature, but at the present you are in favor of the quality of goodness. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls the material activities manifested by the three modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Nirgunam Gunabhoktarcha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always transcendental to the material qualities, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. But nonetheless, he is their controller. The Lord manifests himself in three features as Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. To control these three qualities, he personally takes charge of Sattva-guna as Lord Vishnu, and he entrusts the charge of Rajoguna and Tamoguna to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Ultimately, however, he is the controller of all three gunas. Lord Brahma, expressing his appreciation, said that because Lord Vishnu had now taken charge of the activities of goodness, there was every hope that the demigods would be successful in fulfilling their desires. The demigods were harassed by the demons who were infested with Tamoguna. However, as Lord Brahma has previously described, since the time of Sattva-guna had now arrived, the demigods could naturally expect to fulfill their desires. The demigods are supposedly well advanced in knowledge, yet they could not understand the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord is addressed here as Anantaya. Although Lord Brahma knows past, present, and future, he is unable to understand the unlimited knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunamilintam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yadkripa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurudina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Pangsha Kalpatarubhisya Kripa Sindhuye च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the fifth chapter of eighth canto, which describes how the demigods have approached Brahma after having been tormented by the asuras. Kindly give me a second. In fact, Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear about the churning of the milk ocean by the demigods and the asuras. And to set the scene, Sukdev Goswami first described how, after having been cursed by Durvasa Rishi, these demigods, they lost the kingdom of heaven in a fight with the asuras. The asuras, they captured the kingdom of heaven, and the demigods became bereft of that. The demigods went to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma in turn took the demigods to the Shwetadvip, on the shore of the milk ocean, where Lord Kshirodakshai Vishnu is resting there. Lord Brahma, though he could not see Lord Kshirodakshai Vishnu, but he started offering prayers to the Lord, assuming and having trust and faith that Lord will be listening to his prayers, and ultimately Lord will rescue him. So these are the prayers that Lord Brahma is, offering to Kshirodakshai Vishnu, and this is the last verse of these prayers in this chapter. In these prayers or in other prayers, there are always description of various qualities of the Lord. But in this particular verse, there are 5 qualities. There are 5 words which describe 5 qualities of the Lord. One of them is Anantaya. Second is Durvitra Kyatma Karmane. And third is Nirgunaya. And fourth is Gunayasaya. And 5 is Sattva Isthaya. So there is Anantaya, Karmane, Nirgunaya, Gunesaya, Satisthaya. That means this indicates unto a personality who has this quality. This quality is Lord Brahma is offering his obeisances unto Lord who is Anantaya and who is performer of the inconceivable activities, who is free from the contamination of the material qualities, and who is controller of the 3 modes of material nature, and who is favoring material, who is favoring those who are situated in a material mode of goodness, Satyasthaya, and who is always situated in the mode of pure goodness, Satyasthaya. We will try to understand these qualities of the Lord in this discussion. Lord is known as Ananta. Ananta, as Prabhupada has translated, it means everlasting. That is transcending the 3 phases of time. That is present, past, and future. In the Chatusloki Bhagavatam, when Lord himself is speaking to Lord Brahma, Lord Garbhodak Sai Vishnu is speaking there to Lord Brahma. Be it Karanodak Sai Vishnu, or V is Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, or V is Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. Vishnu in quality is always the same. It's the same tattva. is the same element. So there, Garbhodakshay Vishnu is, speaking to Brahmaji. And there he says, Ahameva sameva agre, na anyat yat sasat param, pashad aham yat etascha, yo avasisyet so asmaham, ahameva asam sameva agre. Before the creation, it was me only who was existing. Na anyat yat sat param. And Lord says, whatever is, sat and asat, that is temporary and permanent, spiritual and material, it was also not existing at that time. And after annihilation, even whatever remains, that is me. So Lord says there that in the beginning of creation, when there was nothing, even the cause of everything, that was the ignorance, it was not there. So in the beginning or in the middle stage and in the last stage, it is me only who remains there. The time is created by the Lord to put a boundary on the reaction of the material and spiritual and soul. In the material world, there is a reaction between material elements and the spiritual soul. And the boundary of this reaction is the time. Kalam charantam sajnis asayam pradhan pumyam nardev satyakrit. In order that there can be reaction between the material elements or material ingredients of creation and the spiritual soul, the Lord creates the time as a boundary. So, even before the time was created, Lord is the one who's existing there. This way, and even after the annihilation, Lord remains there. When the whole material creation, it becomes, inactive and turns into Pradhana, and when all the living entities, they enter into Karanodakshaya Vishnu, at that time, this material nature becomes inactive, completely inactive. And at that time, Lord remains, Lord exists there. So thus we can see that Lord exists in the all three phases of time, that is present, past, and future. And even Lord remains when the existence of time is not there. And that's why Lord is called Anantaya. He is infinite. Other reason that Lord is called Anantaya is that Lord Ananta says, has been describing with his, unlimited hoods, the pastimes of the Lord since time immemorial. But Anant Sesha, Ashesh means that which has not been completed. But Lord Anant has not been able to describe or complete the description of the qualities of the Lord, and therefore Lord is called Ananta. There is a word, Namo Astanantaya, Sahast Mutaye, Sahast Padak Siroru Bahave, Sahast Namne Kursai Sasute, Sahast Koti Udharane Nama. It describes the unlimited nature of the Lord in every respect. Namo Astu Anantaya Sahast Murtaye. I offer my obeisances unto the Lord, whose form is infinite, who has, infinite number of mouths, feet, head, all this. Says Padaj Sururu Bahave. He has infinite number of, feet, head, and arms. Says Namne. He has infinite number of names. Pursai Sasute. He is the eternal personality who is ever existing. Says the Koti Dharune Nama. Koti. Koti becomes, 10 billion, 10 million is Koti. In Hindi we call it Karoda. And when it is Sahasra, that means 1000 multiplied by 10 million. So it becomes trillion. And the Lord is said to, exist in Sahastra Koti Udharane Nama. Lord is said to exist in such trillion of yugas. Can we imagine? Trillion of yugas. Yugas. Yes, ek niswast kalam athavalambhe जीवंत लोम विलजा जगदंड नाथा विष्णुन महान यस्य कला विशेषो गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि. This verse is from Brahma Samhita, where Lord Brahma is describing, Lord Mahavishnu. Yes, ek niswast kalam athavalambhe. Lord Mahavishnu, during whose one breath, Jivante Loma Vilaja Jagadandhanatha, the rulers of different, planets or universes, they live only up to the duration of one exhale and inhale, or one breath of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is simply a plenary portion of that Lord Govinda. I offer my obeisances unto that Lord Govinda. So there we can understand that the time length of one breath of Mahavishnu is, equal to or even more than the lives of, rulers of different universes, or maintain, or let's say creators of different universes. Jivante Loma Vilaja Jagadandhanatha. Our Brahma has life of 311 trillion and 40 billion years. Brahmaji's one day we know it is of 1000 yugas. Then Brahmaji's 1 month is, 30,000 yugas. And Brahmaji's, 1 year is 360,000 yugas. This is Brahmaji's 1 year. And when we multiply this by 1000, then it becomes 360, 36,000. That becomes 36 million yugas. And when we convert this into the, human years, then it comes to 311 trillion 40 billion. So thus we can understand that such is the age of Brahmaji, and such Brahmaji can at the best live up to the one breath of, Mahavishnu. If one breath of Mahavishnu is so long, then how much will be the existence, his existence? So there, Lord Mahavishnu is Sast Koti Udharane Nama. So Lord is, one who exists for number of yugas. And that's how the Lord is eternal also. This was eternity of the Lord. The another quality that we read here is a Durvitr Kriyatma Karmane, performer of inconceivable activities. We will come to this, we will come to discuss this in the last part of this discussion. But before that, there is another quality of the Lord that has been described in this verse is the Nirgunaya. So Nirgunaya means the Lord who is, free from the contamination of the three qualities of the material nature. Normally, people understand that Nirgun means one who does not have any quality, one who does not have any form. They understand Nirgud or Agud. That means they understand a person or the supreme, being, or the supreme truth does not have any form, it does not have any qualities. But Nirgud doesn't mean this thing. Nirgud means one who is devoid of contamination of the material qualities. Like a conditioned soul like us, we are not devoid of material qualities. We are full of contamination from the material qualities of the, mode of nature. And but Lord is not like this. In Bhagavad Gita, the description of, three modes of material nature, Sattvam Rajastama Id Guna Prakriti Sambhava Nivadhanati Mahabhavo Dehe Denam Abhyam. Krishna is telling Arjuna that the three modes of material nature, they are mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. It guna prakriti sambhava. They are created from the nature. Or in other words, nature consists of these three modes of material nature. Nibadhanati mahabhav dehe dehnam abhyam. And these three modes, they bind a pure soul, with the body. The bodily conception that we are living in is due to the contamination from these three modes of material nature. It is simply because of this contamination that we are identifying ourselves with the body. Nibandhanat Mahavaho, Dehi Denam Abhyam. Excuse me for a second. So Nibandhanat Mahavaho, Dehi Denam Abhyam. Dehi Denam Abhyam. This imperishable soul is contaminated by these three modes of material nature. And what happens then? There is description, Sattam Sukhe Sanjati Raja Karmadi Bharata Jnanam Avrit Tama Pramade Sanjati Uta. The mode of goodness, it winds one with the material comfort. Sattam Sukhe Sanjati, with material happiness. And Raja Karmadi Bharata, the mode of passion binds the conditioned soul with the fruitive mentality. Raja Karmadi Bharata. Jnanam Avrit Tama. And the mode of ignorance, it covers the knowledge of the pure soul. And why this covering? Pramade Sanjati Uta. It binds one with the laziness and foolishness. Pramade Sanjati Uta. So this way we can see the three modes of material nature, how they bind a conditioned soul. But Lord says in Bhagavad Gita itself, Namam karmani limpanti, name karm phale ispraha, itimam yu avijanati, karma vinnasa vidyate. Namam karmani limpanti, my actions do not bind me, or neither I do get entangled by the results of my actions, because name karma phale ispraha, I do not desire for any result of my actions. And itimam yu abhijanati, anybody who understand me like this, karm vinsana vidyate, such a person also does not get entangled with the fruitive activities or with the results of his activities. So what does it mean? In order that we also become like Krishna. Krishna is Sachit Anandmay. Krishna is Nirguna. Krishna is devoid the contamination of the material modes of material nature. In order that we also become like this, we also need to know Krishna in his, factual way or factual element. And that factual element, Krishna says here, Namam Karmani Limpanti. My activities do not bind me. Name Karm Phale Ispraha. I do not desire result of my actions. Itimami Abhijanati. Anybody who understand me like this, Karm Vinsana Vidyate, he does not get, bind by result of his activities. So in order that we can understand Krishna, we need to also achieve the same platform. And this is what is devotion is all about. Following four regulative principles, chanting the holy name, hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, all these things are meant that we become transcendental. SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM itself is a transcendental literature. It's a transcendental compilation, which is understandable by those who are pure in the heart. And SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM is not different from Krishna. Krishna is transcendental, Krishna is Nirguna, and similarly Srimad Bhagavatam is Nirguna, is transcendental. Dharma projit ketavo atar paramo nirvasanam sadam. In this Srimad Bhagavatam, the Dharma projit ketavo atra, those religions which cheat a person from his actual interest, Ketav Dharma, cheating religions, they have been rejected completely. Dharma projit ketavo atra. Paramo nirma sanam satam. And it is understandable only by those who are pure in heart. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Pare Ishra. The Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva in his most matured stage of his life. And then, therefore, what is the need of any other kind of literature? Because this is the last literature that Vyasadeva created in his most matured stage of his life. Then what is the need of any other literature? And as soon as one, pays attention or hears attentively the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord becomes seated in his heart. So this is what is a Srimad Bhagavatam is nirguna. So we do, study of Bhagavatam, we do hear Bhagavatam, we chant Lord's holy name, we associate with devotees, we honor Lord's prasadam, we attend Mangal Aartis, we perform deity worship, we go to Dhama, and we observe four regulative principles in order that we become transcendental. Devotion itself, the pure devotion itself is transcendental. Pure devotion in itself is nirguna. It is free from the contamination of the modes of material nature. And that's why by pure devotion, one becomes transcendental. Anya Vilashita Sunyam, Jnana Karmadhanavritam, Anukulena Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Ruttama. Rupa Goswami describes in lecture of devotion, Anya Vilashita Sunyam, that devotion which is free from any kind of fruitive mentality. Jnana Karmadhanavritam, which is not covered by, speculative knowledge or by fruitive activity. Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Ruttama. Such a devotion is, cultivation of such a devotion is the best devotion or the most pure devotion, purest devotion. So, we also read in the very first, verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janvadasyata Anvayat Itartha Charthe Sabhage Surat Tene Brahm Hriday Adi Kavaye Muyantyat Surya Tejo Var Mridam Yatha Binmayo Yat Tishaga Marsa Dhamna Swain Sada Nirast Kohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhamna Swain Sada Nirast Kohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. The Lord, devoid of all material contamination, he always resides in his, eternal abode. Dhamna Swain Sada Nirast Kohakam. Nirast Kohakam means he is free from all kind of material contamination and he is always residing in his permanent abode, eternal abode. Satyam Param Dhimahi. And I meditate on such, supreme truth. This is what is the first verse itself. Sachidananda Rupaya Visutpatyadhidu. Aptri Vinasaya Sri Krishna Mayana. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatma from Padma Puran. The first verse it says, Sachidananda Rupaya. The Lord's form is Sachit Anand. It is eternal, it is full of knowledge, it is full of bliss. Visut Utpatyad Hetave. And the Lord Himself is the cause of the creation of the, material creation. Taptri Vinasaya. He is the one who can free oneself from the three kind of suffering. Sri Krishna Bayam Rama. We offer our obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna. So that's how we can understand Lord is Nirguna. Nirguna means he is devoid of contamination of the three modes of material nature. And other quality that is being described here is Gudesaya. There is one word called Ganesha. Gada Isha. He's son of Lord Shiva, Ganesha. And he's controller of the Sangha, congregation of the people, group of the people. But here it is Gudesha. Gudes means one who is the controller of the three modes of material nature. And Gudesai means unto the one who is the controller of the three modes of material nature. As I said before, Lord creates time to draw a boundary for the reaction of the material ingredients of creation and the spirit soul. Kalam Charantam Sujanis Asram Pradhan Pumyam Nardev Satyakrit. And in the beginning, these three modes of nature, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance, they are in the equilibrium state. And Lord Mahavishnu glances over this, material nature, which is inactive, which is dormant, which is in an equilibrium state, which is called Pradhana. And this is called Nirgun Brahma. Nirgun Brahma is this. When the material nature is unmanifested, and when these three modes of material nature, they are not active or they are not reacting among themselves, and this is what they call the equilibrium state. This is called Nirgun Brahma. But when they become manifested, and the 24 elements, namely the 5 gross elements, 5 subtle elements, and 10 knowledge and action senses, this become 20. Then false ego, mind, and intelligence, they become 23. And fourth is the contaminated consciousness. This become 24. When these 24 elements, they become manifest, this is called Sagud Brahma. Sagud Brahma. And initially, when these three modes of material nature, they are inactive, what is called the Pradhana or Nirguna Brahma, the Lord, in order that there can be further reaction among the modes of material nature, Lord, what happens? He glances over them. And which Lord is that who glances over this? It is Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai Vishnu. Karanodakshai Vishnu, he sleeps or rests in the causal ocean. And actually, in that causal ocean, from the pores of the bodies of Mahavishnu, there are so many innumerable, universes are coming out, in which the Lord is entering as Garbhodaksh Sai Vishnu. And from the navel of the Garbhodaksh Sai Vishnu, Brahmas are taking birth in different universes. And those Brahmas, they have more than 4 heads, whatever Brahmaji has. And then there is a Svetadip in every universe, where next expansion of Garbhodakshai Vishnu is in the form of Sirudakshai Vishnu. But what happens when Garbhodakshai Vishnu glances over the Pradhana, which is the inactive or dormant state of the three modes of material nature? Lord Kapila is telling Devati Mata, Prikate Guna Samasya Nirveshasya Manavi Chestayatasa Bhagavan Kal Iti Pulakshita. There is defining time. What is time? There is defining when the three modes of material nature are in the equilibrium state, which is called the samasya state, nirvishesh state. Nirvishesh means nirgud state. That equilibrium state is called a nirvishesh state or nirgud state. Chestaitas Bhagavan Kaliti Pulakshita. That which agitates those three modes of material nature is called time. And what agitates the equilibrium state of the three modes of material nature? It is the glance of Mahavishnu. So the glance of Mahavishnu that agitates the equilibrium state of the three modes of material nature is called time. So this time and our impregnation, jivas or the living entities earlier, they are in the body of the Mahavishnu. And Lord Mahavishnu, by glancing over the material nature, he impregnates the jivas, in the nature. So thus, the glance of the Lord, it becomes kind of, semen of the Lord. Because the living entity floating on the semen of the Father, he enters into the womb of a mother. Karmana deva netrina jantu dev pate istriya pravesh udaram punso rit kanasraya. This is again the verse that Lord Kapila is describing to Mata Devati. And there he says, Karmana deva net, a living being forced by Karmana deva netrina. A living being's fate is decided by the material nature, Karmana deva netrina. And this way, a living being enters into the body of a male body, and floating on the semen of that male body, he enters into the womb of a female body. Istriya Pravasodhanam, Punso Rit Kanasraya. Rit means semen. Kanasraya. Rit Kanasraya. The living being takes the shelter of the sperm of semen. Ret Kanasraya, sperm of semen. And Istriya Pravasodhanam. And this way he enters into the womb of a mother. So why I'm trying to describe this here is this. Lord does the impregnation of the living entities into the, pradhana or dormant state of the material nature by glancing over the material nature, while we come into the womb of the mother by the impregnation by the father. So here, when we come into the womb of a mother, we take shelter of Ret Kanasraya, sperm of semen of a male body. But there, the Lord's glance itself is the kind of, semen. And there the jiva is floating on the, glance of the Lord, which takes the form of the time, or which is time. Actually, when we see Mahadyoni, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Tasam Brahm Mahad Yonim Aham Bij Pradapata. All the living beings, all the living bodies, they become possible by birth, and I am the first seed-giving father. When Krishna says this thing, I am the first seed-giving father, that there he means this thing. Tasam Mahad Yonir Aham. Mahad Yonir means this Pradhana. Mahad Yonir means Pradhana. That is the inactive or dormant state of the three modes of material nature. And when Lord says, I am Bij Pradapada, there Lord is saying, I glance over the material nature. And this Mahad Yonir, this activity of Lord Vishnu of glancing over the dormant state of material nature is described or is symbolized in the form of Shivalinga. There is Mahatyoni and there is Shivalinga. Mahatyoni it describes the source of all creation. Mahatyoni. It describes the Pradhana. And Shivalinga describes the Lord's glance. So Lord Shiva, in a way, is nothing but a glance of the Karanodakshai Vishnu on the Pradhana. And when we see the Shivaling, it is nothing but the Mahadyoni and Shivaling. Mahadyoni means source of creation. Yoni means from where the living beings become manifest. So Prakriti Gud Samas Nirvesesasya Manvi Chestayatas Bhagavan Kalitipulakshata. Time is that agency which agitates the three modes of material nature. And after the living beings become impregnant in the Pradhana, from that time onward, we are floating on the time. From that time onward, it is a time which is carrying us. And that's why Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, what he says, Prakriti Krimani Gunani Karmani Sarvasa Ahankar Vimoon Atma Kartar Amit Manyate. All actions in the material world, they become possible by three modes of material nature and time. Why time? Because it's the time that agitates the three modes of material nature. But out of false ego, a living entity, he thinks himself the doer. But actually, he is not the doer. And now those people who have studied, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, or let's say science, and there we do so much of derivation of the formulas. And those who have studied the, differential calculus, and there we do the derivation of the formulas. This part will be understandable only those who have scientific background. There we see that every derivation has, something divided by delta t. Like velocity is equal to, ds by dt. ds by dt. What is ds by dt? Distance traveled in certain period of time, interval of time. Distance traveled divided by period of time. So speed is ds by dt. And acceleration is dv by dt. Rate of rate of increase of velocity is called acceleration. So what I'm trying to say is this: there is dt, difference of time is there in every formula. Why it is? Why there is delta t or dt in every derivation? Why? Because everything is function of time in the material creation. And this is what the verse Bhagavad Gita says. And this is what the Lord says. Nothing can happen without the agency of the time. And this time is a representative of the Lord himself. Therefore, Lord does everything. Lord, by the agency of time, influences the three modes of material nature. And these three modes of material nature, they, give a different kind of combination of the sense elements or sense objects. And then what happens? These senses, they become attracted by the sense objects, and in turn, the living being, suffers or enjoys through the agency of the senses. But actually, it is the time that is agitating the three modes, which in turn is agitating the senses, and so much of, movement and agitation happening in the material creation. And the time is the Lord himself. You can understand. The Lord is beyond the modes of material nature, but actually, in order to extend his control over the material nature or on the affairs of the material creation, he expands himself in the three form, and he takes charge of mode of goodness and gives charge of mode of ignorance to Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma is born as a in charge of mode of passion. So this way, Lord, extends his power and control on the material nature, and this way he, creates, maintains, and annihilates the material nature. So Lord, though he is transcendental, but through the three modes of nature he controls the material creation. Another quality that is described here is Sattvisthaya. Sattvisthaya means one who is always situated in the mode of pure goodness. अतः परम सूक्ष्मतम अव्यक्तम निर्विशेषम अनादि मध्य निधनम नित्य बांग मनसा परम. The description of the Vaikuntha is there in this verse. Atay param sukshitam. The Vaikuntha planet is most subtle. Param sukshmatam. Nirvishesham. It is devoid of, three modes of material nature. Nirvishesham. Anadi madhya nidhanam. It is, you know, it is free from creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Nitya, it is eternal. Bang mansa param, it is beyond the description of the words, and it is beyond the thought of the mind. It is beyond the purview of the thinking capacity of the mind. And this is what the description of the Vaikuntha. And Vaikuntha is Sattvisthaya. Sattvisthaya. There is no, contamination of the modes of material nature, as we know. Na yatra maya kyum utapare hare. Na sattvam rajastama. Na chakala vikrama. The all-powerful time is also not there in the Vaikuntha planet. There is no influence of the three modes of material nature. There is no such contamination there. And this is what is called the Vasudeva stage. A stage which is in the pure goodness. Which has no contamination. But in the material world, what happens? All the time there is a competition within the three modes of material nature. In the seventh canto, in the beginning, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukdev Goswami that it seems that Lord is partial. But Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Samo am sarvbhutesu name dvesu asti nachame priya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am equal to all living beings. But mam bhajanti tu e bhaktya. But those who are actually worshipping me or are my devotees, to them I am inclined favorably. To them I am inclined favorably. So demigods are actually devotees of the Lord. Vishnu Vakti Smrta De Asura Tad Viparya. those who are the devotees of the Lord are called demigods. Asura tad viparya, and those who are not devotees of the Lord, they are called asura. And Lord says that I am inclined towards my devotees. Otherwise, I am equal to everyone, every living being. But to devotees, I am inclined. So what happens? Lord Brahma is saying this thing that now there is going to be predominance of mode of goodness. So I'm sure there will be favorable condition for for the demigods. What happens? So there, Sukhdev Goswami is telling Parishit Maharaj that Lord does not do any partiality. Through the agency of the time, Lord simply agitates different modes of material nature, and it is up to the living being that in which mode of material nature he wants to be. For example, if we want to live in the mode of ignorance, it's our choice. We become lazy, we remain dirty, we eat all the you know items which are in the mode of ignorance, and we assimilate with such people. So this becomes our choice that we remain in the mode of ignorance. And if we want to associate with, if we associate with the people who are in the mode of passion, and if we eat food that is in the mode of passion, and if we indulge in activities which are in the mode of passion, then we become passionate. So it is the choice of the living entity that by his actions and by his choice, he can situate himself in the either mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. So Lord does not disturb anybody, but what he does through the agency of the time, he agitates the mode of these modes in different way. When there is predominance of mode of ignorance, then these Rakshasas, they become powerful. When there is predominance of the mode of passion, the asuras become powerful. And when there is predominance of mode of goodness, these demigods, they become powerful. And the Lord is always favoring will to those who are in the mode of goodness. And that's why, in order that we can get mercy of the Lord, and there can be favorable, glance of the Lord on us in the form of his mercy, we are advised to develop the mode of goodness more and more. Therefore, we are advised to get up as early as possible, not to sleep too much, eat only the food that is in the mode of goodness, and not too much of sleeping, like that. Because those are the conditions where the Lord becomes favorable to those. So Lord is not partial to anybody. Lord is partial but impartial. He is partial to his devotees, but impartial to all other living beings. All other living beings. But there becomes a natural band, or let's say natural favor from the Lord to those people who are in the mode of goodness. Who are in the mode of goodness. And that's what Brahmaji is saying here. That now, since, no, but at the present you are in favor of the quality of goodness. You are the control of the three modes of nature, but at the present you are in the favor of the quality of goodness. So that means the Lord will show favor to the demigods, because the quality of goodness is favorable to the devotion. The one quality that we did not discuss is the fifth quality, which is the Lord is the performer of inconceivable activities. Durvitra Kriyatma Karmana. He is performer of inconceivable activities. Urkrama is another name of the Lord. In the pastime of Lord Vamandev, what happens that Lord Vaman asked for 3 steps of land from King Bali. And there, as we know, King Bali, he agrees, but before that he argues with the Lord that why are you asking for only 3 steps of land? You are so small in size, and what good it will be for you to have only 3 steps of land. Why don't you ask for more? I can give you even island. So their Lord Vamandev, after having, occupied all his kingdom by simply 2 steps, Lord is Urkrama. For example, it seems that it would have been very easier task for the Lord, to 1 step and second step. But if actually we go by the length and breadth of the material universe, then we can understand how big the Lord's 1 step would have been. Hmm? Lord says, Padan Trin Datyani Bhumi Maya Tvemasar Dwabhyam Krant Mahi Sarva Tritiya Upkalpaya. Padan Trin Datyani Bhumi Maya Asura. O great among the Asuras, you agree to give me 3 stops of land. Dwabhyam Kranta Mahi Sarva. By 2 I have covered all your kingdom. Tritiya Upkalpaya. Please arrange for the third one. Pada Ekin Maya Kranta Bhurlok Hamdistano. By 1 step, I have covered the whole earthly planet. Khamdistano Swargalok Te Dutiyana. By 1 step, I have covered, the earthly planet, and from my body and arms, I have covered the direction and the whole sky. Swargalok Te Dutiyana. By second step, I have covered all the heavenly planets. Paschitate Swamatmana. It just happened before you. Yavat tapat asal gobi, yavat indusav dubi, yavat barsat parjanyo, tavat bhuimam tab. Yavat tapat asal gobi, as far as the heat and light of the sun goes, yavat indusav dubi, and as long as the moon and the stars shine, yavat barsat parjanyo, and as far as the rain god, he engages in the rain. That long is your kingdom. Tavati bhumim tav. But before you can see that I have covered everything. Therefore, please manage for the third one. So from this, we can understand that how inconceivable are the Lord's activities, that just in 2 steps he covered the whole creation. He measured the whole creation. And therefore, Lord's description is kartum akartum anyatha akartum. Kartum akartum, one who make the doable as undoable. This is the Lord. And one who can, and anyatha kartum means one who can do a undoable as doable. Kathanchan smritim ismin duskaram sukare bhavat vismrate viparitam sat Sri Chaitanya Prabhum bhavaje. By remembering that Lord Chaitanya, even a undoable task can become doable. Even a difficult task can become a easily doable task. Duskritam sukritam bhavet. Vismrate viparitam sat. If we forget that Lord, then even a easy task, doable task can become a undoable task, become difficult task. I offer my obeisance unto such Lord Chaitanya. So the description of the Lord is that he can do what is undoable, and he can make something doable a undoable thing. This is another. Then there is another description, as we can see, very astonishing and very astonishing narration in SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. There was a Brahmin in Dwarka whose son used to die as soon as they used to take birth. And that Brahmin used to go to Ugrasen and curse him, that it is because of you, who is a sinful ruler here, that my sons are dying immediately after taking birth. Arjun was there. When he heard this, Arjun said, when his 10th son was to take birth, then Arjun said that I will ensure that your 10th son does not die. And Arjun said, if I fail to save your 10th son, I will, burn myself into the fire. I will enter into fire. So Arjun created a case from his arrows around his house of the Brahmin. And when the 10th son of this Brahmin was born, there was a immediate cry of a child. And all of a sudden, this cry was not heard, and the son of the Brahmin disappeared from there. And this Brahmin started again, cursing Arjun. And Arjun said, okay, I will enter into fire as per my promise. But at that time, Dwarkadhish came there and he said, I will take you to the place. In fact, Arjun before that banned to even Yampuri and all the planets, and he could not find the son of the Brahmin. Then Lord Dwarkadhish came there, and Lord Dwarkadhish took Arjun to Karunadaksai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. It is not possible to go beyond this material universe by any material, object or material plane. But Lord Dwarkadhish took Arjuna there, and beyond this universe, he took him to Karunadaksai Vishnu. And there Karunadaksai Vishnu had in fact taken all the 10 sons of Lord of this Brahmin. And when Lord went there with Arjun, Karunadaksai Vishnu was very happy, and he said that I wanted to see you, my Lord. And therefore I had been, bringing all these sons of this Brahmin. Please forgive me for this. And after seeing this act of Krishna, Arjuna was in surprise. Even Arjun, who was with Lord Krishna all the time, he was full in surprise, because even such devotees like Arjun, they cannot understand the activities of the Lord, because Lord is pur karma. He performs such activities. One more thing, when Arjun had taken place to kill Jayadratha, and in the battle there are so many Maharathis who are coming against Arjun and stopping him to reach to Jayadratha. And when Arjun's, horses, they become very tired. Then Lord stopped the chariot there, and he wanted the horses to rest for a while and give them the water. Arjun came down from the chariot, and he was surrounded by Duryodhan, Dusasan, Karna, and all these. And they wanted to shoot arrows on Arjun, thinking that this is the right opportunity for us. But Lord simply looked into their eyes, and by glancing over them, they could not even shoot one arrow. They could not even shoot one arrow. This Karna, this Duryodhan, they could not shoot one arrow on Arjun, who was devoid of his chariot at that time. Lord has such, uncommon activities. Lord can perform such uncommon activities. So this is why Lord is called Urkrama. Those activities which are inconceivable. Inconceivable. All the activities of the Lord are inconceivable. And since these are inconceivable, therefore, there is another doctrine that is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Achintya Bheda Bheda philosophy. That Lord's activities are actually inconceivable. Inconceivable. And that's what is also the quality described here in Brahmaji's prayers. These are the 5 qualities that this verse describes. Thank you all very much for hearing so patiently and attentively. If there are any comments or questions, you may come in.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for very detailed and wonderful descriptions of the qualities and on the things, Prabhu. Dear devotees, do you have any questions or comments or realizations? Please go ahead and raise your hand, or you can unmute and ask the questions as well. Hare Krishna. This is Bala. This is Anjali.
Okay, if comments any. If not questions, then comments, please.
Any comments and realizations, dear devotees? Please go ahead and.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
First time heard that 10 last story you were talking about, like each time the Brahman has a baby, he's going away. That is the first time I heard. Prabhuji,
Do you have any question, Mataji, Padma Mata?
no, I don't have any question, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah, Hemangi Mataji was also thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you all devotees. If no questions or
Yeah,
comments, we can close.
sure. If there are no questions, we can play our business to Prabhu. Vancha kalpata.
Balaji, somebody
Hare
raise
Krishna,
hand.
Mataji, 1 second. Bala Prabhu has a question. Bala Prabhu, please go ahead. Unmute yourself, Prabhu.
Yes, Mother. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. That was you went through Shastra very thoroughly. Appreciate all the efforts you put into the class. Thank you very much. So one of the questions I have is, in spite of so much endeavor we make for a sadhana, still you feel like you are nowhere near, right? How do we make that feeling as a positive to going forward?
The question is this, Prabhu, that we are making all our efforts and endeavors in our sadhana, but we do not feel near to Krishna. Is it?
I mean, the way we look like we are so far away. How do we feel, or what are the signs or progress that we can check ourselves
Very nice. Very
periodically?
nice. Okay, checkpoints on our progress. One way is that, Vyai Kaman Sarvan, Puman Charit Nispraha, Nirmama. Arjun also asked, what are the qualities of a person who's advanced in devotion, or let's say a person who's achieved perfection? There also Lord gives certain indications, but at the same time we can see that how much tendency we have to enjoy the material world.
I see.
How much I am detached from the material. How much I am attached to my relatives. As much I am related to my blood relatives, near and dear ones, that much I am attached to the body. If I am attached to body, then I am not attached to Krishna for sure. Our attachment to Krishna is always opposite to our attachment to our body. There should be a detachment. There should be a development detachment from the body. So obviously it's a very complicated web of Maya in which we are here trapped in. But we can see that as we take association with devotees, as we chant the holy name of the Lord and perform the devotional service, we see that devotees develop, detachment. They develop detachment. Devotees do not indulge in that level of, passionate activities, or let's say activities in the mode of ignorance, as do other common people. Devotees don't. And when there is too much of, let's say, curiosity, or let's say greed to get love of Krishna, then one feels that, oh, I am devoid of this thing. Premera subhav, premera sambandha. Sai mane Krishna more nahi prema gandha. This is the quality of love of Krishna, that those who get it, they feel that I don't have it. This is the quality of love of Krishna. Premera subhav ya premera sambandha. Sai mane Krishna more nahi prema gandha. Those who have the property of love of Krishna, they feel, oh, I don't have it all. I don't have it all. Feeling voidism in the heart about the presence of love of Krishna is actually the state where one has actually love of Krishna. It's just like, ice cream cup. Nobody can, take up a ice cream cup from the hands of a child. Why? His licking is like anything. Why? Because he's enjoying it so much and he feels I should have more and more and more. If we do not have taste for Krishna at all, then we will not think that we don't have it. We will think we will have it. Common people, we ask them, oh, I am such big devotee of Krishna. But as we reach out to the more advanced devotees, senior devotees, advanced devotees, they say, oh, I don't have. Narottam Das Thakur says the same thing. I don't have even a one drop of, love of Krishna. So this is good sign in a way, to feel that I do not have, love of Krishna. But the signs of checks are this: how much I am detached and how much I become affected by the happiness and misery of the material world is also a sign. There are good and bad times. There are loss and gain. There is, there are times of, we get honored, we do not get honored, we get ignored. How do we behave in this? There is one verse in Bhagavatam, Nindan stab satkar nekar arth kalivaram, pradhan paryorajan avivekin kalpitam. When a person is, criticized, or when a person is praised, a person has different kind of feeling. If someone is criticized, he doesn't like it. If someone is praised, he likes it. Pradhan paryorajan naradev निंदन स्तव सत्कार नेकार अर्थ कलेवरम प्रधान परियोराजन अविवेकेन कल्पितम. Sukdev Goswami says that this is because of ignorance, that when a person is praised, he becomes happy. When a person is ignored or criticized, he becomes unhappy. This is because of ignorance. Ignorance means identification with the material body. So there he says Lord is transcendental, and therefore when Lord is either criticized or praised or approached in any spirit, the result is same. Same thing happens with the devotee. As the devotee advances, he becomes more and more transcendental. Transcendental means transcendental to material happiness and material, unhappiness, material suffering and happiness. He becomes transcendental to this. That means his body becomes transcendental. Or in other words, he becomes detached from the material body. Let's say. Or he becomes, more close to Krishna. Or he comes in more contact with Krishna. The best way to come in contact with Krishna is chanting his holy name. Easiest and best way to come in contact with Krishna is chanting his holiness, his holy names attentively and regularly, and in the very early morning hours. So, how do we act? How do we react, to the material conditions? And it is also said that we become tested in the times of, dishonor. A person's actual nature becomes exhibited when he is disrespected. In the testing time of disrespect, or when one is being ignored, where he expects the respect, how do I behave there? How do I behave there? That actually matters. That actually tells about our, advancement. But either way, how much I am detached and how much I am indifferent to the material conditions, these are the signs by which we can understand how much I am becoming, empowered or advanced in devotion. Other signs also like this. How much do I like association with the devotees? Do I like association with devotees or of the worldly people? Do I like chanting my, 16 rounds, or it is just a formality? Is chanting 60 rounds a burden for me? Or is it the good time for me? Do I relish chanting? That also shows one's love for Krishna. Loving Krishna means loving Krishna's names. So that also shows one's advancement. Do I like to associate with the devotees? Do I like to hear classes? Do I like to study Bhagavatam? Do I like to have darshan of the Lord? Hmm? If I on my own have more tendency and propensity to engage in the limbs of the devotion, that means I have developed or I have got some taste of devotion. That means I'm advancing. I'm advancing. If the taste of material happiness is going, material sense objects is going, that means our taste for spiritual happiness is increasing. These are the ways we can understand.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Appreciate that. Appreciate your explanation. that explanation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
Thanks so much. Couple
So,
of questions.
in one other question, how obviously you chant early in the morning, and what other ways that you prepare yourself to chant more consciously? Do you have any rituals that you do before you start chanting?
Okay. First of all, as early as possible, we should get up early in the morning, and chanting in the early hours is really very effective because it is in the mode of pure goodness.
Yes.
It's more effective. Daytime it's mode of passion, and evening time it's mode of ignorance. And these modes, since we are conditioned, so the modes of nature will affect our chanting, our devotion also. This will be as early as possible, and the chanting should be offenseless. So we take care of the 10 offenses that we read. If one is ignoring the instructions of his spiritual master, not abiding by the instructions of his spiritual master, that means the instruction from a spiritual master is 4 regulative principles. So somebody is not following strictly 4 regulative principles, that means he is committing offense to the holy name. Somebody is blaspheming a devotee who has given his life, or a devotee of the Lord, that means it's a offense to the holy name. So there are 10 offenses to the holy name. So we have to protect ourselves from those 10 offenses. And then now 11th offense is that one should keep away his mobile while chanting. This mobile phone, it should be kept away while chanting.
Yes.
Today there was a class here and there was discussion that what is the way to get rid of this Maya, because Maya is day by day coming in different forms. Earlier there was television. We stopped, viewing television. Then
Yeah.
there were newspapers. We stopped newspapers. Then there were phones. Okay, it's okay. But then came smartphones, and then came WhatsApp. So devotion is all about becoming, what is called Atmaram. That is becoming self-sustained in a blissful state. But these gadgets like mobile, all this, they are giving us, more and more ways to interact with the
Is
material
Prabhu
world
froze,
or outer
Mataji?
world.
Yeah.
Outer world. So this is one problem, very big
Hare
problem.
Krishna.
And now even bigger problem is the AI, artificial intelligence. We never know what will it give us. So keep the world. I mean, we have to isolate ourselves from the world. And mobile phone is one item or one instrument which actually is making us associate more and more with the outer world. So keep mobile away. Use it the least. Use it the least. Least
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
This is one question what I have heard and I try to take over.
Wonderful. So I think that will, I will take it to heart. Yes. That's very true. Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sudhakar Prabhu raised hand. Yes, Sudhakar.
Appreciate it.
Please go ahead, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sudhakar Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I was just trying to understand your clarifications to Bala Prabhuji on the question he asked about signs of the progress for the sadhana. I read or I heard that in Bhakti there are 2 stages, like sadhana Bhakti stage, which they are saying, and then Siddhi Bhakti stage. Is it correct, Prabhuji? So I also learned from other lectures that the real progress of any sadhak will only be identified by the guru. Is my understanding right? Because we don't have that kind of qualification to assess our own progress on the spiritual path. This is I thought to just check with you on this aspect.
Actually, our progress can also be viewed by others also among the devotees. Like we see when people join or take to Krishna consciousness, let's say, all those who are latecomers or juniors, let's say. So we see changes in them, even the external changes which are visible in their body and in their etiquette. They itself, narrate their advancement. They also tell their advancement in devotion. So yes, it's just like if there is a white cloth and as it has so many stains of dirt and all that. So once we wash it, almost everything becomes clear, but 95% clear, 5% remains, which are visible but not also visible, and which were not visible easily also. So those anarthas, of course, a spiritual master can see. The anarthas which are within our heart, very subtle anarthas, a spiritual master can see. He can see inside our heart. So that is the very latter stage, but the initial stage of advancement, or initial state of transformation, it is visible to almost everyone. Just like I take a white cloth, it has dirt stains, and I just wash it, give it one wash, and it becomes quite clean. Then in second wash, more clean. I use good detergent, more clean. But even after lot of detergent and dry cleaning, there are some stains which are almost invisible, and which only I can see because I am very much conscious about my dress. Others may not be able to see. Similarly, advanced devotee can see his heart, and his spiritual master obviously can peep into the heart that what all anarthas are there.
Thank you so much, actually, for your lecture today. I think I learned a lot on the creation part. You touched a lot what is the creation. Today, I think you explained about the how the gunas act with the time. I think that point it was very much interest for me. I was wondering why this satoguna, ratoguna is, how does it impact me? Why? So then today, I think you clearly explained what the factor. It's ultimately the God who is deciding uh, on us the three gunas according to the time. Okay. Thank you so much,
Excellent.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much,
Thank you all very much.
I see some very good comments in the chat box, Prabhu. I would like to read. Lalita and Dhanamanda Prabhu, who are devotees of, who are disciples of Prabhupada, they are ready. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your uplifting realizations and association. That was a fantastic and clear presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although we have no scientific background, somehow because of your pure realizations, we can capture so much more than normally possible. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Your grateful servants, Lalita Devi Vidasi and Dhanaband Prabhu. Let's see, Vrindagopika Mataji also, please accept our humble obeisances and on behalf of all Vaishnavas. And Hemanki, Jayanda Gauradas Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful class. Hemanki Mataji, Jay, wonderful class. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thanks for nice
Thank you so
comments.
much.
Thanks, all devotees.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Let's see, is there any more raised hands? Any raised hands? Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Hemangi
Hemangi.
Mataji, do you have a question?
Hemangi
Mataji?
Mataji question. Yeah. I saw Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a wonderful class, a very deep. I mean, along the lines of this discussion, it's maybe off topic, but sometimes when in my sadhana, at least, I feel, there's days of struggle, like we're struggling to do my sadhana, complete rounds, and in spite of being aware of all these different tips and tricks we hear every day in the class. And then I also hear that Krishna likes the struggle of the sadhaka. So, Prabhuji, how do I understand this?
Yeah, every day is a new day in this material world, Mataji, and there are various conditions by which we are affected. There's various, actions and reactions in which we are struggling here in the material world, and particularly in the Grihastha ashrama. Even a brahmachari who does not have too many dependents on him, he also has a struggle of his own maintenance of his body, and that way every living being has his own struggle. But in Grihastha, there is so many attachments. Ka grahi supaman satam atmanam ayatindriya. Isne pase dhram baddham usahit vimochitam. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Ka grahi supaman satam. which is that person who is in the household of life, able to detach or cut the knots of attachment with the family. Isne paase idram baddam. Isne paase. There are, knots of attachment, so-called material love with the blood relatives and extended relatives and family and friends. Huh? Ussahe vimuchitam. Which person is able to that? I mean, it's a very rare thing. Hitva atupatam grahamandakupam banam gato it harem asit. Prahlad Maharaj says to Hiranyakashipu, my dear father, intelligent person should somehow, give up the home. Even he says, because hitva atupatam grahamandakupam, this household life is just like a blind well. A blind well which is covered by grass in a field, and a person thinking that's simply grass, he walks and he falls in the well. Similarly, the household life is like that. We think that the grass is all green, but actually we become entangled like anything. We become entangled like anything. So those who are in the household life, the struggle is there, one part to maintain the body, to maintain the dependence, and to earn the livelihood, then to fight with the threefold miseries of the material nature, and so many other factors, and then to accept some time for sadhana. So itself is a very struggle. Itself is a struggle, and therefore Krishna becomes very merciful. He mercifully looks at the devotees. Yeah, out of ignorance, they have fallen in the material world, but somehow now they are trying to come to me, and they are putting all their best efforts. So Krishna becomes very much merciful to his devotees. Mata Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna to the mortar grind, and Yogamaya was acting in her own way, and Mother Yashoda, she tried to wound Krishna in one rope, and that fell short by 2 fingers. And then Mata Yashoda is not able to understand how come a 3-year-old child not be bound by one rope. It will be just 2-3 feet only, but how come? Then Yogamaya is acting, and she is bringing other ropes also. She is connecting and trying to tie Krishna. And in the process, they are, Mata Yashoda is sweating, and there are drops of, sweat on her face, and Krishna becomes, he becomes very, very much melted in hurt. Oh, my mother is trying to find me, and she does not know that there is no measurement of me. Na yas paramanam vai tasya bandhanam kil. Kevalam prema srutirna chakar nandagehini. That Lord Krishna, who does not have any measurement, only by dint of love of devotion, only by dint of love, that Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, chakar nandagehini. So Lord becomes pleased by the sadhaka's sadhana, and when Lord becomes pleased, the mercy is there. As Lord became pleased with Mother Yashoda, and he was tired there. Naimam virancho na bhavo na sriyapang sansarya prasadam levire gopi yattat prapta bhumuktidapt. That spiritual joy which Mother Yashoda was enjoying, it is not available even to Brahma or Lord Shiva. Hmm? And evam sandirsayang harena bhakti vasita subhasen krishnen yasyadam se iswaram se. Why this Damodar Leela Lord Krishna has tried to exhibit only one thing, that Lord becomes, uh, Lord comes into control of those devotees who want to control him by pure devotional service. Otherwise, Lord is controller of such demigods like Brahma and Shiva, but they cannot approach Lord. But Lord is easily approached by pure devotion service. So Sudhakar Prabhu also had asked one thing. There is one devotion, sadhana bhakti. Then there is Shuddha bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is what we are doing and what we are struggling. And our struggle for sadhana bhakti is our process. Sadhana bhakti itself means we are engaging in some sadhan. We are engaging in some means of reaching to Krishna. And that means is struggle. Sadhana bhakti itself means struggle. When the devotion becomes easy without struggle, then actually it is the state of nearing the completion or nearing the perfection. What is called, uh, what is called Anuga Bhakti? What is that called? Rupa Anuga. What is the one? There is the word called,
Yes, Raganuga Bhakti.
Raga Anuga Bhakti.
That is
That,
yeah.
yeah, that is spontaneous state of love for Krishna. A spontaneous state means there is nothing that one need to think or know about Krishna. It is spontaneous love, as of Brijvasis. Brijvasis do not know that Krishna is God. Neither his friends know, nor the gopis know, nor Mother Yashoda know, nor does Nand Maharaj know that he is Krishna. Sometimes when he does such activities like lifting the Govardhan hill, these Brijvasis reached to Nand Maharaj and said, I have so many doubts. I have some doubts, O Nand Maharaj, about your son. How come my love for your son is increasing more than my own sons? And how come such a child of 7 years can lift the Govardhan hill? I have some doubts about you. Then Nand Maharaj tell that when Gargachar came here, he told me that your son is, like Narayan in all the qualities. Therefore, kindly bring him up very carefully. And when Nand Maharaj told this to Brajvasis, they worshipped Lord Krishna and Nand Maharaj. Then Yog Maya does his further expansion, and Nand Maharaj forgets and Brajvasis forget that Krishna is God. So this is spontaneous love. Our love, even the love in the Dwarka is not spontaneous, because they are the queens of Krishna or relatives of Krishna. They know that he is Narayan or he is Krishna. He is Vasudev Krishna. Dwarka is Krishna. So there is not such a spontaneous love as in the Brajdham. So that is the perfection, of spontaneous love, what is called Raga Anuga Bhakti. Raga Anuga Bhakti. Raga means those who are attached to Krishna. 100% attached to Krishna, like we are attached to our family and let's say son and daughter. Similarly, those who are attached to Krishna become their Anuga. Anuga means follower. Actually, all the devotees in the Brahma Gaudi Sampradaya are Raganuga Bhaktas. Why? Because we are Rupanuga. And Rupa Goswami is Rup Manjari. Rup Goswami is Rup Manjari. And we are Rupanugas. We are Prabhupada Anuga. And Prabhupada Anugas are the Rupanugas. And Rupanugas are the Rupa Manjari Anugas. So actually, we are those who are chanting the holy name and following the principles of Gaudi Vaishnavism, and those who have taken initiation or shelter in the Gaudi Vaishnavism, they actually are Rupanugas or Raganuga devotees. But a one-line answer to your question, Hemangi Mataji, our sadhana, our struggle is the name of the game. This our struggle is the process, or can we say it other way? Our process is the process of struggle of chanting. Everybody has a struggle, but then we like it also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a wonderful, hope-giving answer. My biggest hope is mercy of Krishna and mercy of the devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Sudhakar Prabhu, what to say?
Go ahead, Prabhu.
No, I think Prabhuji, I think it just remembered me that one of the class was Krishna notes our intentions, to do the bhakti rather than, actually whether you do or not. So this reminds me when you were trying to answer to Mataji's question. If our intention is that we want to do bhakti, I think that is enough, even though we could not do it because of so much of distractions or some situations may not permit because of the relationship we are born to that. That's why I had like that. I just reminded me, I thought to just bring to it, is it the similar one or not like that?
Krishna actually, the difference between demigods and God, Krishna, is this. Krishna knows that we are approaching him or reaching him not for pure devotion. He knows. Some reach to Krishna, out of want of money. Arto arthato jigyasi. 4 kind of people go to Krishna, as we know in Bhagavad Gita. Arto arthati jigyasu gyani. Some people out of knowledge, some people out of curiosity, some people out of, frustration, or let's say, and some people want money. Krishna knows this thing. But in Bhagavatam it is said, Satyam disat nar arthitam arthato nama. Nayev arthada it puno arthataya. Those who approach Krishna for want of money, Krishna gives them money, but he does not give them as much money that may make them ask for more money, unlike demigods. Swayam vidate bhajatam anishitam ichha pidanam nijapad pallabam. Krishna knows that these have come to me not for my pure devotion service. They do not want my lotus feet, but still, knowing fully well, Krishna still gives his lotus feet. Krishna gives, this the difference, because all of us came in devotion, not for Krishna's devotion, but something for us. But gradually we are developing attachment to Krishna. Gradually we are becoming detached from the material world, attached to Krishna more and more. So this is quality of Krishna. This process itself will give us one day pure love of Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay, bro. Hare Krishna. I think we can close this session.
Any more questions?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for patiently answering all the
All
questions.
the questions. That wonderful question session too.
Hare Krishna, we could offer our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Amathara Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Haridas Thakur Prabhuji ki jai.
Ki jai.
राधे राधे
Bhagavatam ki jai.
राधे राधे
Nityananda.
सकल पतर कृपा सिंधु पेयवच्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Jai.
राधे राधे
Haridas Thakur Prabhuji ki
Jai.
jai. Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhu. Thank you so much.
राधे
Hare
राधे
Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today's class. We'll meet
राधे
tomorrow.
राधे
Hare